Hey everybody, this is Matt with Dawn Pro Audio. We've got a lot of kind of broad overview videos out on YouTube and in various places. And today I want to take a little bit of time and get a little bit more specific about what are the Dawn speakers, what makes them look the way they do, what makes them sound the way they do. Kind of go a little bit more in depth about what gives us this characteristic column line array design. So I've actually brought a friend of mine with me. Ironically, his name is Matt as well. Matt's our product manager for Dawn Pro Audio. Wanted to kind of come in and talk a little bit more about what makes the Dawn system unique. So, Matt, I guess first thing, this is our column line array. It's a tall, skinny design. Talk a little bit about some of the design features of what this product is.
Sure. Well, in a line array, each speaker is getting a specific range of frequencies. And in our system, we use a bi-amp design to send certain mid and low frequencies to the woofers and the high frequencies to the horn.
Okay.
Another thing we've done is in the horns in both the T100 and the T50, we spend a little extra time to get those highs really pristine without the harsh peaks and distortion.
Right.
So the T100 uses a neodymium compression horn, while the T50 uses a titanium dome tweeter. So these really let the highs get out there to your audience. Yeah,
and I think, me being the sales guy, one of the things that we try to bring up from a sales standpoint is when our product team and our engineers were designing the product, I think talking about the high end on these, it's something really good to talk about. It didn't just go and find a tweeter, go and find a horn and throw it in there. We were really specific about what we wanted to sound like, real specific about the crossover points, I think, with using the bi-amp design. Yeah. And so really found, both in the T50 and in the T100, something that was the exact right component to go with those speakers, which helps give it that design as well. And tell me, this is something I know I talk about a lot, but sometimes I'm probably talking past my talent level, as far as like dispersion and why to go with a column line array and how it affects the sound.
Sure. Well, having the speakers arrayed vertically, that allows you to disperse your sound in a much more efficient manner. You're covering more ground with less power. So the system can be lighter, it can be more compact,
right.
And each speaker dealing with the frequencies it was designed to reproduce. That prevents any unwanted lows distorting the horn or highs muddying up the mids and lows.
Right.
Everything is functioning as intended.
Yeah.
And as you said, our crossover, our engineering team spent extra time bi-amping that design, crossing over at just the right frequencies. We did countless listening tests, different sets of ears, and we really got it dialed in. They sound great.
It's a really premium, great sound. And, something I want to bring up, I know that something I've seen out in the field and something with talking with customers, and this is just kind of a general design of a column line array. I know that you still get the wide dispersion that you would get with a traditional 15 and a horn, 12 and a horn type speaker, but you actually control the vertical dispersion a lot more than you typically would. And so, places like, a lot of places where DJs play, you tend to get a really hard floor or a hard ceiling. Even better example would be a fitness center, to where you've got a hardwood floor, you've got, mirrored walls, you've got a hard ceiling. You've really got to try to control that sound as much as possible. And that's what having a system like this, having the smaller woofers gives you much more control over the frequencies, but then also you don't have all those reflections bouncing off the ceiling and the floor.
The reflections and the way the sound waves interact with each other in a vertical alignment is much more suited for the types of rooms you're going to put these systems in.
Absolutely. Well, and also I want to bring up, you kind of hit on this a minute ago, with the column line array, you get a much more compact system as well. You can obviously see, the design of this relative to what we would see a traditional speaker, 12 and a horn, 15 and a horn, I keep bringing up.
Sure.
Big and bulky, you can make them lightweight these days, but we're getting the same kind of output and the same kind of volume out of a speaker like this with all of that control also. Great sound, and it's only 23 pounds on this T100 top, and you can see how small it is. We can pack 2 subs. I've done this actually before. Being a sales guy, I run around in a rental car a lot of times. I've packed 2 subs and 2 tops and all the cabling and everything in the back of a mid-sized rental car. That's something you can't get with a traditional speaker system. Having this column line array design, I know you get that.
Yeah, it's truly a win-win. I mean, cars are getting smaller, and the parking on the street, you can park on the street, you can fit this in your vehicle.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy a separate van or truck to run sound anymore.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people, you know, the old days, you've got the van with the painted sides and all that. You know, it might be cool to have, but you don't need to have that anymore.
That's a different application.
So, absolutely. I tell you what, before we go to, you know, I want to make sure and wrap this thing up, but let's talk about also, spin this one around and let's talk about some of the features that are on the back of it. Just kind of run through, you know, what we have on the back of the T100 there.
Sure. 3 channels. 2 of them accept a line or a microphone. So if you're doing voice, presentations, or making announcements at any number of functions, we've got you covered. Channel 3 has an 1/8" input for your iPod, MP3 player, computer, whatever sounds you want, as well as a Bluetooth antenna.
Right, so you could stream, you know, you don't have to plug right in. You just Bluetooth in with your phone or your MP3 player or your computer or whatever. Okay, great. And so individual channels. You know, one thing I want to hit on real quick right below that is our system link. Talk a little bit about what system link is. That's something that's unique to Dawn. So I think it's important to talk about it. In its simplest form, it's a way of daisy chaining multiple speakers. So you get into a larger room, or you know, this way you can have one system but have multiple speakers for whatever size room you want to play in. So you go out to in, out to in, out to in, and your sound's going to go out through all of them. But what's cool about the Dawn system link, or one of, I guess, kind of the added features, I'm going to spin my little T50 around here as well so we can kind of see it. When you system link these speakers up, no matter where you plug a microphone in, or no matter where you plug a keyboard in, or an MP3 player, or whatever input you use, that gets sent across the entire chain of speakers. So I could plug a microphone in here and talk, and then I can come over to this speaker, plug a microphone in and talk, and it's going to go through the entire chain. That's really cool if you're using it in a, you know, there's a lot of like corporate hospitality type uses where you've got speakers around the room and you don't want cables running all over the place. A lot of DJs like to use this because you know, you can have different places where people can grab a mic and make announcements or give a toast or do that kind of thing without having to run microphones all over the place. So really, System Link is kind of a cool feature as well that adds on. So yeah, I think that, you know, kind of runs through a lot of the main features of the Dawn T-Series systems. Didn't talk too much about the 200S subwoofer, but we do have that kind of fills out the bottom end as well. You can certainly use it with the sub. You can use it without the sub also. Very compact column line array. As always, if you want any more information, dawnproaudio.com. You can buy the systems there today, download manuals, all that kind of stuff, and check out some of our other YouTube videos for more information also. Thanks a lot.